In the ancient times, before mortals toiled and kingdoms crumbled, there existed a world so wondrous it seemed but a dream. This was the Age of Gold, a time when the earth itself sang in harmony with the heavens, and mankind knew neither sorrow nor pain. In this golden era, the gods mingled freely with men, bestowing gifts and wisdom upon those who dwelled in peace and plenty. The Golden Age. Under the rule of Cronus, the Titans reigned supreme, and humans lived in an idyllic state. They required no labor to meet their needs. The earth provided bountifully, offering fruits, grains, and all manner of delights spontaneously. Rivers of milk and honey flowed, and the very air seemed to whisper songs of contentment. In this time, there was no fear of war, no whisper of disease, and no shadow of death. The people lived long, happy lives, eventually slipping into death as gently as one might fall asleep. Amidst this paradise lived Eurythmus, a shepherd whose heart was as pure as the golden age he inhabited. He played his lyre, serenading the nymphs who danced to his tunes, and his laughter echoed through the valleys. One fateful day, Eurythmus encountered the goddess Eos, the rosy-fingered dawn, as she descended to earth. Their eyes met, and in that moment, a love as radiant as the morning light blossomed. They spent their days entwined in each other's arms, their love a beacon of joy that seemed to brighten even the sunniest of days. But paradise was not eternal. The Silver Age. As time wore on, the Age of Gold dimmed into the Age of Silver. Zeus, having overthrown Cronus, now reigned supreme. The Silver Age was still a time of prosperity, but shadows began to creep into the edges of this world. Men now had to labor for their sustenance, and the seasons turned, bringing with them the cycle of birth and decay. This was a time of innocence lost, a bridge between the divine and the mortal realms. Eurythmus and Eos, still deeply in love, faced the new challenges together. No longer could they simply pluck fruit from the trees. They had to cultivate the land, sow seeds, and reap their harvest. Their love was tested as they toiled, but it grew stronger, binding them in a shared struggle. However, mortals now began to age and grow frail. Eos, immortal, watched with sorrow as Eurythmus's hair turned silver, and lines of age etched his once youthful face. Desperate to preserve their love, she pleaded with Zeus for a boon. Zeus, moved by their love, offered a bittersweet gift. Eurythmus would remain young, but he would be bound to the earth, unable to ascend to the heavens even in death. Accepting this gift, Eos and Eurythmus continued their lives, their love eternal but tinged with the sadness of what might never be. The Bronze Age. As the Silver Age faded, the world hardened into the Age of Bronze. This was an era of warriors, of men forged like the very metal that named the age. They were strong and fierce, but their hearts were cold, and their lives were filled with strife. War became a way of life, and the gentle arts of peace were all but forgotten. Eurythmus, now a timeless figure in a changing world, witnessed the rise of great cities and the fall of empires. He saw men turn against one another, their weapons clashing, their cries of battle echoing through the land. He and Eos withdrew from the turmoil, retreating to a secluded valley where they could remember the serenity of the past. But the world would not leave them in peace. A mighty warrior named Alectryon, driven by dreams of glory and conquest, discovered their hidden sanctuary. Seeing Eos's beauty, he became consumed with desire and demanded she leave Eurythmus and become his bride. Eos, filled with fury, refused him, but Alectryon was relentless. He raised his sword against Eurythmus, challenging him to combat for Eos's hand. The battle was fierce. Though Eurythmus had the strength of a young man, Alectryon's bronze-hardened might was overwhelming. Eos wept as she watched her beloved fall, his life's blood staining the earth. In a final act of defiance, she transformed Eurythmus into a star, placing him in the night sky where he would shine eternally, beyond the reach of mortal suffering. The Age of Heroes. The Age of Bronze gave way to the Age of Heroes, a time of legendary deeds and epic tales. The likes of Hercules, Perseus, and Theseus roamed the earth, their feats immortalized in song and story. This was a brighter age, filled with both greatness and tragedy, as the heroes strove against monsters, tyrants, and fate itself. Eos, heartbroken yet resolved, descended to the earth once more, seeking to inspire new heroes who could bring a glimmer of hope to a darkening world. She found solace in guiding the brave and the bold, whispering words of encouragement and wisdom into the ears of those who dared to challenge the gods themselves. One such hero was a young prince named Adrastus, whose kingdom was besieged by a monstrous serpent sent by Hera in a fit of jealousy. Eos saw in Adrastus the spark of greatness and bestowed upon him a shield imbued with celestial light. With Eos's guidance, Adrastus confronted the serpent, slaying it in a battle that shook the very heavens. His deeds brought peace to his land and won him eternal fame. Yet, even in this age of heroes, the seeds of discord were sown. The heroes themselves were often pawns in the games of the gods, their fates manipulated by divine whims. Despite their mighty deeds, they could not stave off the inevitable decline. The Iron Age. The final age, the Age of Iron, dawned with a chill in the air and a heavy heart. This was a time when men labored ceaselessly, burdened by toil and sorrow. The gods withdrew to Olympus, leaving humanity to fend for itself. War, famine, and pestilence stalked the land, and the hearts of men grew hard and cold. Eos, weary from centuries of watching the world's decline, saw the suffering of mankind and felt a profound sorrow. She no longer walked among mortals, retreating instead to the heavens, where she mourned for what was lost. The once idyllic earth was now a place of endless struggle, and the memory of the Golden Age faded into legend and myth. But even in this dark age, flickers of hope remained. Eos continued to rise each morning, her light a reminder of a time when the world was whole. And the star that was once Eurythmus still shone in the night sky, a beacon of eternal love and the enduring spirit of humanity. In the midst of the Iron Age's despair, a young woman named Lyra found herself captivated by the tales of old. She longed for a return to the days of peace and harmony. Inspired by the stories of heroes and gods, she set out on a journey to find the remnants of the Golden Age. Through forests and mountains, she traveled, guided by the faint glow of Eurythmus's star. Along her journey, Lyra encountered other dreamers and wanderers, each carrying a spark of hope. Together, they formed a fellowship, dedicated to rekindling the light of the past. They faced countless trials, from battling beasts to confronting their own inner demons. But their resolve never wavered. In time, their efforts bore fruit. Small pockets of peace and prosperity began to emerge, like green shoots breaking through the iron soil. Lyra's fellowship grew, and their message of hope spread across the land. People began to remember the old tales and strive for a better future. As Lyra looked up at the night sky, she saw the star of Eurythmus shining brighter than ever. She realized that the true power of the ages lay not in the hands of gods or heroes, but in the hearts of ordinary people. The Golden Age was not lost. It lived on in the dreams and actions of those who dared to hope. Thus, the cycle of ages continued, with each era bringing its own challenges and triumphs. And though the world had changed, the essence of the Golden Age, the love, peace, and harmony, remained within reach for those who believed and persevered. In the end, it was the enduring spirit of humanity, the capacity for love and hope, that would one day restore the world to its former glory. And as the dawn broke each day, Eos smiled, knowing that the light of the Golden Age would never truly fade.